Yeah, yeah, I am a menace. Keep me arranged like tennis. I'm with this shit like I'm Dennis. I started this shit, I'ma finish. Niggas be hating, trying to blemish my image. Who want the smoke? 2 to 3 came with the scope. Extended clip, long as a rope.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ravan from Mass Manifestation. Today we're going to be talking to you about high vibration energy. Is high vibration energy something that you want to achieve? What is high vibration energy, and why is it something that maybe you want to look into and think about achieving? So, one of the people in my comment section told me that you guys are not sure, because on a lot of my videos I'm talking about high vibration energy, and you guys don't know what that means. Now, if you're into the spiritual journey, if you're in the self-development journey, there is a good chance that you would have heard this term before. But if you haven't heard it, for the rookies that are new to this, for the people who are new to self-help, have never heard the words high vibration energy, I'm going to explain you what it is. But before I explain you that, there is something I want to make sure I get it out of the way first. What I'm going to say, if you have never heard of it before, is kind of going to sound very out there. It's going to sound something a little bit out there, a little bit more out of your level of thinking box. But I'm telling you with pure confidence that if you just listen to it and try to understand where this message is coming from, what this idea really means, and what it can do for you, there's actually lots of good you can take from it. So let me break this down. Before I tell you about high vibration energy, what I want to tell you is that there is this thing called the subconsciousness, right? So there's our logical mind, right, which is the 10% of what we think. And then there's our subconscious mind, which is about 90% of what we have experienced, what we did like years ago, what we felt, what we think we should do, and our unbiased opinions that we naturally have that's deep within our hearts, right? So this could be something like, let's say you have a friend, right, that you met 5 years ago, right? And for 5 years you guys haven't talked. So obviously 5 years from now, you probably don't remember who he is, and you probably don't talk to this person, and you're not walking around thinking about this guy all the time. But what happens is, let's say 5 years later, you guys meet at a coffee shop, right? You guys meet together, and then everything clicks in. You remember that, yo, I went to school with this guy. I did this with this guy. I played soccer with this guy. This math teacher and me did this together. There was this funny joke that we used to have. Now, where was all that? That all still is in your brain, right? But that's not what you were thinking about. That's not in your logical mind. Where it was it's actually inside your subconscious. It's deep within your roots, right? So what happens is, deep within our subconsciousness, there's a lot of things that stay there. So let's say if somebody in the past made fun of you and you never really got over it, and you just kind of went with life and never dealt with it, that goes deep within your subconscious. What happens is, over time, if there's a lot of incidents like that built up and you never really got out of it, that also stays deep within your system, right? So it stays deep within. Also, for the people who gets raised with lots of love, lots of happiness, what happens is, deep within, they have lots of happiness. So even though sometimes, something goes wrong, they can deal with it better because they have so much happiness within their heart. But obviously they don't see it in the moment, but they find better ways of solving with it, right? So there's that. Now that I get the consciousness part out of the idea, right, I also want to break down high vibration energy and low vibration energy in just simple terms, right? So for the people who don't really understand what this means, I don't want to get too spiritual woo-woo out there. Just simply understand, high vibration energy and low vibration energy is good thoughts, bad thoughts. Make it super simple, right? Good thoughts, bad thoughts. You're either living your life through a lens of positive thoughts, or you're living your life through a lens of negative thoughts. Now, I don't mean like, when I say positive thoughts, you gotta be that guy who's just like, I'm positive all the time. That's like delusional. That's not real happiness. That's just you that's usually what happens is when you're trying to mask the negativity. So you give yourself situations where you're living this like, I'm so happy, nothing affects me, yada yada yada, and you live that lifestyle, right? So that's not real happiness. That's just you trying to cover up all the negativity by masking it as a happiness, right? So you should understand, there's good thoughts and there's bad thoughts. If you look at life like, oh, everybody hates me, I'm ugly and all this shit. So whenever you walk into a restaurant, you're already like, oh, I'm so ugly. These guys already hate me and all this shit. If you walk into a restaurant, you're just like, yeah, that person doesn't like me. That person doesn't like me. People will have something against me. If you're looking life through that lens, you're at the low vibration energy. Your energy, literally the way you're living life, is at a low vibration energy. Your vibration that you're giving out to the world is reflecting back. Everything you put in the world bounces back to you. So if you're going out thinking that you're fucking ugly, people are gonna treat you like you're ugly. But now if you're going out and you have a high vibration energy, which is more about giving love, sharing with people, connecting with people, energizing with people, it's a different mindset, right? From that is a different mindset. But this is a better vibration energy, whether you find it high or not. This is a high vibration energy, and this is a higher frequency of I want to connect with someone versus, oh, are they going to like me? This is a low vibrational energy thought. Like, they have to like me. Why don't they like me? This is a low vibration energy thought. High vibration energy thought is more like, you know what? I want to connect with somebody and see what they're like. That's a higher vibrational energy thought, right? So I wanted to get that out of the way, right? Low thinking, high thinking. Negative thoughts, positive thoughts. Make it super simple. Now, I'm going to get into super crisp detail for you guys to understand how deeply does high vibration energy and low vibration energy actually make your life. And the funny thing is, your life is actually run by the vibration you're on right now. Before I do explain that again, I'm going to just get over one more thing, is that you have to understand in vibration energies, there is your addictions, right? So obviously there's the drug addictions and stuff like that, which is very, very, very common. You get addicted to drugs, it's hard to get over it. We all know that, we've been there, right? But there's also the other side of addictions that people cannot see. It's not easy to see through the eye, right? But it's the emotional addictions. Now, if you have been, let's say, playing the victim for the last couple of years, right? For the last couple of years, you've been telling yourself, I'm a victim. My life is complete shit because everybody treats me like shit, right? Now, all of a sudden, if I came up to you, I'm just like, hey, bro, you're not a victim. It's cool. Nobody has nothing against you. You're awesome. Just do you. You can push forward. Now, for the last 5 years, if you've been thinking that thought, it's going to be really hard for you to jump from that to the next person. It's just not going to be that easy. It's not going to be easy for you to go from here to there just like that, because that happens a lot. You'll see this even in school. Remember, this would happen a lot when you would have this person who's going through depression or whatever, right? And then you would tell them nice things like, yo, no, man, you're awesome. I believe in you. Just, be happy. Like, don't worry about the stress. And they're like, yeah, bro, be happy. I heard that advice before, but I can't do it because I'm stressed. You know why? Because they're way too addicted to their emotion. Believe it or not, they want to get out, but they're addicted to their emotion. It's harder for them to get out. But it's not just about breaking the addiction. It's about slowing yourself down, allowing yourself to process up, accepting for who you are, and then moving on up. There's a lot of things that's there that you have to be willing to get yourself into. So that's one of the things you gotta understand. Now, addictions is one of the things you gotta get over and move up, right? And you gotta understand is, like, once you get over your emotional addictions, there is other addictions that you also have to get over, and you also have to embrace new habits into your life. So first thing you obviously gotta do is give up your addictions. You have to give up your addictions. Like, if you're really addicted to smoking weed or smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, masturbating, whatever you're addicted to, you gotta let it go. But there is a time and a place for everything, because if you're in a really, really bottom of the scale, as you're going up, it is going to be harder for you to keep up with that. It's going to be harder for you to, if you're all the way bottom at like apathy, shame, guilt, if you're feeling all those kind of feelings, maybe like smoking weed isn't so bad for you, right? But if you're at the frequency of like, of anger, courage, pride, right? And you're still like, smoking weed, no. At that point, I would tell you to master yourself. Let yourself be free. Learn to make yourself vibrate at a higher frequency and leave from where you are and go to the higher version of yourself, right? And do that slowly by slowly. So now I'm going to break down the chart for you. So I have my thing over here. So I'm gonna probably put it up somewhere in the video here. That's why I had this new background today, because I want to be able to put that on the side and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So as you can see, there's a chart right here, right? At the very bottom, we have shame, right? So this is your very bottom. If you're at the vibration energy scale, right, at the very, very lowest vibration energy, this is your lowest vibration energy. I honestly don't think I've met many people at shame, but there is a lot of people like that out there. My examples would be people who are homeless, right? People who are homeless, people who are drug addicts on the streets. They have a lot of shame and guilt within themselves, right? So that they're the lowest vibration energy. They cannot even think like high enough to go fix their life. They can't think enough to be like, yo, let me go get a job. They can't think enough to be like, yo, let me do something about life, because they're at the very bottom of their vibration energy. So they're the life process of, I am shameful. I'm ashamed of myself. This is disgusting. I'm not happy with who I am. I suck. You think like that, right? So that's at the very, very, very bottom barrel of shame, right? So now, like I was telling you guys before, if you're at this point, if you're at shame right now, right, you cannot be just jumping from shame to, let's say, hey man, I want to go from shame to joy, right? That's a huge jump. As you guys see in the scale right here, shame's all the way down here, joy's all the way down there, up there. So you're not going to be going from there, like that. It's not going to happen. But what you can do, and the best thing you should be doing, and the things I also did, was always take one step further. So you would go from shame to guilt. You wouldn't go from shame all the way to joy. You would go from shame to guilt. So what is guilt? Let's look at the next level. So shame, obviously, you're at the bottom of the barrel. You feel like you're ashamed. You don't deserve anything. You're at the bottom of the fucking barrel. Now, we're moving up. We go to guilt. Now, what is guilt? First, you feel the shame because you thought, I'm ashamed of myself, I hate everything. Then you start feeling guilty. It's a little bit better than shame. You're not completely ashamed of yourself, but you're guilty about everything. You think everything is your fault. If something goes wrong, you think you're the reason it was wrong. You're not ashamed of everything that's happening to you, but you're still guilty about it. You think everything's your fault. No matter what happens in this world, it's your fault. If you weren't here, then everything would be much better. And then blah blah blah. You're in that very low negative annotation of energy. So it's a very low field to be at. Very, 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 very dense. It's a very dense energy, very negative energy, and you should stay as far away from that as you can. But if you are at that point, if you're from shame, and if you level up to guilt, it's not a bad thing. If somebody who's being was feeling a lot of shame, the first thing that would wake them up is for them to feel a little bit guilty about it. Like for them to feel so ashamed, if they could just be like, you know what? Maybe it's my fault, right? First they feel the shame, right? They're just like, oh, I'm just ashamed of myself. But then if they start at least blaming themselves for it, it's a level up, right? Now, it does sound really bad, but it is at the lower vibration energy. So for you to go up, that's the step you gotta take. That's the first step you gotta take. First, you just gotta start questioning and be like, is it my fault? Am I the reason that my life is like this? So it does become that paradigm of where you start feeling really guilty. Well, now, after guilty, we start moving up, which is more like apathy, right? Apathy is more like fear. You're like really fearful of life, really scared of life. Apathy is like the bottom of the barrel. Apathy, grief and apathy pretty similar. Grief is like you know, they're like, you're pretty scared, like you're sad, you're like always emotional, you have lots of baggage in you. You feel like you were already at guilt, right? So you're already at guilt where you're at that guilty feeling, like I'm the reason everything's happening. I'm the reason everything's happening, and then that makes you really sad. You're like, why am I like this? Why couldn't my life be fixed? Blah blah blah. And then you're just at the why. You're stuck at the whys, right? You're stuck at the sad feelings of life. Moving up, we have fear. So now, when you're moving up from the victim mentality, from the grief mentality, you move up. Now you start getting towards fear, which is scarcity, actually. So now you're stuck at scarcity. Now this mindset's where you're just like, you're almost scared of everything that goes around you because you're too scared to get hurt. Because you remember what being hurt felt like. Everything before that, like your apathy, your guilt, your shame, these were all like negative emotions, and you're scared to feel that. So you'll try to avoid anything that might put you in that pot. So there's a lot of people who become the fucking nice guy in this situation because they live in a scarcity mindset. They live in this fear mindset where they're scared to be who they want to be. They can't be who they want to be because it hurts them to be them. It hurts them just to be themselves, because if they be themselves and if they get rejected, they're scared they're gonna go back to feeling guilty. They're gonna go back to apathy. They're gonna go back to feeling ashamed and all that stuff. So they live in constant fear and they live in constant scarcity. And then we move on from fear to desire. So all this right now, from like fear to shame, this is all your like suffering, right? Your life is just miserable. You suffer so much, right? Your life is just completely miserable. Now you kind of move on from suffering to the next level. You move on from suffering to desire, right? You move on from fear to desire. And this is the coping situation. This is where you're kind of coping through life. You're not at the bottom of the barrel. You're not even enjoying life that much. You're just kind of like, you're kind of maying through life. You're kind of derping through life, right? You're just like meh every day. You're kind of pushing through life. You're just kind of living it for what it is, not really feeling shitty, not really feeling that great. You're just kind of like derping through life. So that's sort of a desire. So now that you've felt so much fear, right? When you had so much fear in your head, the next level up comes to you naturally is the desire. When you've been scared for so long, you're just like, I don't want to be scared anymore. I want more things. Why am I so scared? That's the next level up that starts coming to you. And that should be the next level up jump you should be taking. So your brain is like, yo, I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling scared. I am tired of all this. How do I not be scared anymore? How do I become a better version of myself? So you start desiring things. You desire things that you think is going to make you stronger. Now, some people go about it the wrong way. Some people think materialistic things are going to make you happy. They think, oh, I'm going to go get a nice car. I'm going to go get a nice house. And then that's going to be what I need for my life. That's going to make me happy. And they start desiring things. Not a bad start, because if you're coming from low vibration energy to desire, at least you're on the right path, right? But truly, soonly, they realize that when you achieve all of this, that it is not enough. Your materialistic wants in life literally isn't enough for you. But it's a good start. You're moving from fear to desire, and desire from suffering to at least you're at the coping, and coping is better than being at suffering. So if you're leveling up, that's good for you. So now you go from fear, you go all the way up to desire. Now from desire, you go up again. Now from desire, you start getting angry. Why do you start getting angry, you might ask? Because like, shouldn't it be like anger first and then desire? No, it's actually not. Because when you have desire, you want these things, right? But anger is the friction that comes from desire. Why? Because when you start wanting things, you have to get a little angry because you didn't have anything so far in your life, right? That's why you felt all these like negative emotions. And now you want it so bad, and for some reason you're not getting it because you don't have enough. You don't have the power. You don't have the mindset. You don't have the resources. You don't have a lot of things. So it starts making you feel angry. You want it so bad, but you don't have it. But anger is good because why? Anger is an evocation of it's evoking your passion, right? It's bringing the passion inside of you, which is amazing. You want that. You want the passion to come inside of you. You want the passion to rise within you. But passion first starts with anger. So unfortunately, but fortunately, when you're gonna be a desire, anger is gonna be the next thing you're gonna have to come through. And you're gonna have to be able to learn to master it. You're gonna have to learn to manage your anger. Your anger can lead you in the bad path or lead you in the right path to go where you're gonna go. It's a risky jump, but it's a jump you're gonna have to take in order to proceed. And it's not as like bad as it sounds, but it's something you're gonna have to deal with, right? Especially as men, our testosterone will be at the peak of our power when we're going through the anger, right? But if you learn to manage it, then you start to get more benefits that comes in the future. So from desire, you start getting angry because anger is what's fueling you now, because you start getting angry. You're just like passionate about it. You're like, fuck man, really want this. Why can't I just go get it? What is this shit? What do I have to do? What is this shit, right? You'll blame everything. You'll find everything. You'll get really angry. But then you will move up. You will move up from anger to pride. Now, you have to be very careful with pride again. Pride. See, coping, it's a little hard. It's that like when you're going up, I think coping is a pretty hard place to be at, because funny enough, everybody around you in your life is pretty much in the coping situation. Nobody's really there's a very few people at like who's going through a nice flow of life, and there's a very rare people who's at the ultimate consciousness, right? So most people are getting by, so it's really easy for you to be around them and just feel like you you just want to stay there because you feel like one of them, right? But if you truly want to achieve the best and the best success for yourself, you gotta move up. So the first thing you gotta understand is when you're gonna move from anger, you're gonna start getting pride. Why are you gonna get pride? Because when you're moving from anger, right, and you slowly start taming your anger, you start managing your anger, as you start managing your ego, now you have this sense of like, oh shit, I can do this. I'm worthy. I deserve this. I want this. You have this drive now. You have this energy now. And the fact that you have leveled up a bit and you've achieved a little bit of thing, your ego kicks in. Your ego finally likes it. Your ego's like, damn, bro, I got this. I can do this. I'm a fucking savage. I'm the best. And when you start feeling all this shit, alright, when you start feeling all these good vibes, what happens is your ego kind of kicks in and tries to like lust over it, right? So when it starts lusting over it, you start getting this pride. You're just like, yo, bro, I'm the shit. I'm the top shit. You guys ain't jack shit, bro. You guys didn't do anything to get where I am today. I had to work so hard. I'm the guy. I made it here on my own. Nobody helped me. I'm the fucking shit, bro. Don't talk to me unless you're this. Don't talk to me unless you're that. Don't talk to me unless you're gonna get me something. Because my time is so important. I'm the top shit. Puts you at a level of pride. Now, a little bit of pride is good, right? But you can't stay in pride for too long. Because when you go from courage, right? When you go from anger to pride, and you're at this level of like really good mindset, and you have a really good verbal now. Because when you have pride, you kind of talk a big game, right? You think a big game. But there's this famous saying that says in order to be successful, you need to have three things in a line together, right? You need to have your mind, the way you speak, and your actions all aligned together to be truly who you are and achieve the success you want to achieve, right? So you cannot be telling me that you want to build the fastest car in the world, and then all you do is think about cars, talk about cars, but you never build on any cars. Or you can't be building cars, thinking about cars, right? But then you never talk to anybody about cars so you can get out there in the world, or any other, right? So anything you do, you have to make sure your three things is always aligned together. So your pride will come because your ego kicks in. Your ego finally gets a boost of what it wanted for this entire time. Because when you go from a low vibration energy, it was always the ego that was fueling you, but your ego was at an all-time low. Now that ego feels a little bit of something, the ego is like, damn, bro, I want to stay here. I want to be right here. I don't want to go anywhere else. So your ego stays like this, and the ego wants to go nowhere else. Ego was like, fuck it, bro. I deserve this shit. I'm going to stay here no matter how long as I can. So you got to be... It's okay to be there for a build, and that's exactly where you start learning how to manifest a little bit of confidence. Because before that, if you talked with your energy was a lot more draining. It was like a draining energy. When you come to a pride, at least you're not draining people anymore. Everything before that, you needed stuff from people. When you come to the pride, you kind of don't need stuff anymore. You're your own person, and that gives you energy. So you fuel your own energy and become who you are. So that's a pride. Now it comes from pride, you move up, you go to courage. What is courage? What is the difference between pride and courage? Well, like I was talking about, you had two things in a row when you were in pride. When you were in pride, you had the feelings of, I know what I want to do, I talk about what I want to do, but I'm not taking enough action. I'm not going out and doing what I want to do. I'm not going out and achieving what I should be achieving. I'm not taking the right actions to get what I want, what I need in my life. So what do? You slowly start realizing that when you're in pride, you're just like, holy shit, bro, I'm thinking about it, I'm talking a big game, but yet I'm not achieving it. Why am I not achieving it? Because I'm simply not going out and doing what I gotta do to go get it. So that's what you level up. That's when you start being more courageous. You start taking risks. You start doing stuff that you gotta do. But being courageous is a little tough before when you're in pride, because you know if you're a little too courageous, your pride will get hurt, your ego will get hurt, because you might fail, and your failure will define you as a failure, and then that hurts your ego. You don't want to be a failure, you want to be a successful, awesome being. So your ego keeps getting pushed on, so it takes a little bit of time for you to level up to courage, but you will make it to courage. All the steps you're going to be taking is going to be taking some time to level up. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to take some time, and it's going to send you up. So then we move from pride to courage. Then from courage, right, we come to neutrality. What is neutrality? You're going to be like, I had courage. Isn't courage a strong feeling? Isn't something that I should be staying on. Why neutrality? Well, neutrality is to the point where you become humble. Remember what I was talking about, the pride? Pride is when you were like, I'm the shit, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the fucking top shit of the world. That's good and all, but that mentality for some reason holds you back. That vibration energy never gets you so far, right? Like, look at all these rappers, for example, right? They're bragging, they're flexing their money, they're doing all these things, and on videos they look like they're having a great time. On paper they look like they're having a great time, but look at them, they're always having a miserable lifestyle. They have somebody, like, their girls cheating on them, the husband's cheating on each other, they're doing a lot of drugs, they cannot feel happy with themselves because they don't have eternal fulfillment, happiness, but they make it look really flashy, they make it look really convincing, they make it look like, damn, they're winning, but there's always something that's going wrong, that is not working out. You can look at, I'm not gonna name any rappers, but you can look at recent rappers, for examples, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about, and you just see that their energy is not aligned together, and it just never works out, and it just never happens. So there's that. Now, we move on from courage to neutrality, right? So now you're neutral, you become more humble, and you realize, oh shit, right? Like, being braggy, being delusional, being narcissistic isn't making me happy. Like, putting other people down isn't making me happy. I gotta be me, who I am. And so you get the courage to do your thing, and you get to the neutrality. Now from neutrality you move up to willingness, right? Now you're willing to actually change. You're willing to change from who you are. Remember, this whole time you're building yourself up, you had this like sense of idea of who you wanted to be, right? But when you get to willingness, you have to understand that there's a lot of things that you gotta do that has nothing to do with you so far, right? So far, what you have done in your journey was good for that level. But now there's different stuff you gotta do in that level that you gotta do. And that wasn't what you were gonna get to, right? So, one of the greatest examples I can give you of that is when I was going through my journey, at some point I realized that, yo, I'm gonna have to start taking cold showers. And that was really out of my comfort zone. I'm like, why would I have to take cold showers? I hate cold showers and I feel like I'm gonna die. So what is the point of cold showers? But what I realized is that's not true, right? Cold showers is not gonna kill you, but it is gonna make you stronger as a human being, and it'll give you the mental freedom to do whatever the hell you want, right? Make you feel more energized, give you the energy, give you the motivation to do what you want. It's gonna let you kill through life without giving a jack shit, by accepting your fear for what it is. So when I was going higher, that was something I had to accept. Before that, that wasn't even in my thought process. Before that, I was just worrying about developing up. But at some point I realized when I got to the frequency of around willingness, I had to understand that, yo, I gotta move up from here. I gotta do something. And I had to be willing to change myself and accept new things into my life. Now, willingness ties kind of into acceptance right here. So acceptance, I'm gonna put you through. This is very important for you guys, and I want you to pay close attention to this, understand what I'm saying, because if you use this information wrongly, this could be a very bad thing for you, okay? Acceptance. This is where, obviously, you start accepting life for what it is. You accept you for who you are. Truly, you accept you're bad for who you are, you accept you're good for who you are, you accept for what you can do, you accept for what you can't do. Now, a lot of people who smoke weed is right there at 350, right? Weed puts you at the level of consciousness of 350. So if you're anywhere below here, if you're anywhere at the lowest terms, if you're at greed, guilt, pride, anger, courage, neutrality, anywhere, if you're lower than the scale of 350, you blaze a weed and you smoke one up and you get high, it puts you right at 350. Think about it. Every time you're weed, what happens? You get really high, right? And you start accepting everything for who you are. If you're stressed, you stop giving the stress and you accept for who you are in the moment. You accept it. You accept the energy that's out there. If you're happy, if somebody makes a joke, you accept it. You start laughing. If somebody's sad, you start feeling sad too. If somebody says you're ugly, you start actually accepting it. If somebody says you're good looking, you actually start taking it. That energy comes around and gives you who you are, right? So it makes you accept everything out there. But now let me tell you something. Why is that could be a potentially dangerous bad thing? Because I used to smoke weed for a really long time. I have quit now because obviously I wanted to rise above. But there was a time in my life when I was doing it. Why was I doing it? Because when I was at my lower vibration energy, I needed that context to level up. And smoking weed did help for a bit. And made me understand like, yo, there is something there that I should be working towards. So it gave me a context to work on. Slowly I did work on myself, and then I had to leave weed because I wanted to go higher than that. But a lot of people, they just get here and they're just like, you know what, that's good enough. Smoking weed's good enough. But I'm telling you guys it's not good enough. And plus, let me tell you something, you're doing it, you're only feeling that form of acceptance only when you're smoking. When you stop smoking, that feeling of acceptance leaves. The feeling of acceptance is not there anymore. The feeling of acceptance only stays when you blaze that plant. When you blaze Mary Jane. When you blaze my sister Mary Jane. That's it. But after that, it's done. Then after that, you're never feeling it anymore. So you have to understand you gotta let that go. That needs to go. That can't stay. The feeling of blazing needs to go. And you need to be able to do that on your own. And the way you do it is by truly working on yourself and letting go of any habits that doesn't serve you. If you're addicted to other stuff too, like alcohol, masturbating, anything like that, you gotta let all that go. And you're gonna start embracing new habits. And that's acceptance. That's a 350. Now, another one you gotta understand is the next one, which is reason. Now, reasoning is awesome, right? You start learning to reason with yourself. You can reason with your own self. Before, you weren't reasoning with yourself. You had a lot of addictions that would make your decisions for you. You would have a lot of bad habits that would make your decisions for you. You would have a lot of patterns that would make your decisions for you. Now, it's different. Now, you can reason with yourself. When you reason with yourself, you make your own decisions. You tell yourself what's the best decision for you. That's why a lot of people, they can't make good decisions because they're not even at the frequency of reasoning. They're at the frequency of something else. Like when you're at the frequency of anger, you make a decision, you're gonna make a decision with when you're angry. And then you're gonna make a bad decision because you're gonna make a decision when you're angry. You're not at the frequency of reasoning. What is reasoning? Reasoning is basically the ability to make decisions for yourself. But there is also something I gotta add to that. When you drink alcohol, it actually puts you at the level of reasoning. Again, like I said, weed puts you right at acceptance, at 350. You accept whatever you gotta accept. It doesn't hold you back, it lets you feel what you gotta feel, right? Whatever it is, you accept it. You really don't give a shit. It puts you at accept it. But later on, when you start smoking it, it starts going back down. You start going back down the scale, right? Alcohol, same thing. As soon as you drink alcohol, what happens? Usually, why do people drink at the bar, right? Because they're shy, right? They're scared. They want to go talk to people, but they can't let loose. But they want to be confident. They either want to go talk to the girl, they want to go talk to their friends, they want to go party, but they can't let loose. They can't dance. Why? Because they can't reason with themselves. Their brain is telling them, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? They're just giving them stupid excuses in their brain. Your brain is making up excuses in your head why you can't do it, why you shouldn't do it, why you shouldn't be doing this, right? Giving you all this stuff. So what happens is when you drink, it slowly starts to mess with your brain. It starts to slow your brain. It starts to poison your brain to the point your brain is like, can't even think properly because your brain is so used to thinking the way you think. And when you drink alcohol, it allows you to reason now. So now if you want to let loose, you start letting loose. If you want to go talk to somebody, you go talk to somebody. You want to go approach that girl in the bar, you go approach that girl in the bar. So alcohol puts you at the right level of reasoning, but again, it comes with its consequences. You're damaging your body, you're not gonna feel nice the next day, you're probably gonna get hungover as fuck, and it's gonna bring your vibration energy more down for the next week for you to catch back up to your normal pace. So drinking isn't the best thing to do. But let me be real honest with you guys. I do drink from time to time, and if you see my video like a while ago, I said I stopped drinking, and that's I don't drink all the time. I do drink at parties here and there, and I will drink a little bit. I don't drink too much, but I am aware of what I can do because the thing is, I don't need the drink. There's a difference. A lot of people need the drink. When you go to the party, they need the drink to let loose. Me, when I go to the party, if I didn't have a drink the entire party, I'll be just fine. Most of the times I'll drink with the friends, but that's about it. I'm not really drinking to let loose so I can go do whatever I want. Like, I can do all these silly things right now if I had a drink, right? Like, I could do it, but I can also do it without the drink. That's what I'm trying to say. So you gotta be able to understand that. And one of the things I would say is, like, on the consciousness, right? If you were to ask me where I would be in the chart, to be real honest with all of you guys right here, I think, not to bash my bubble, I would say I'm on the next one, which is love, right? Now, when you have accepted all of these things in your life, right? You have accepted yourself. You've learned to reason with yourself. You've let go of your negative energies, but also accepted the fact that you will have negative energies no matter what you do. You come to the next thing, which is love. which is giving love, which is being love, which is being okay with love, which is giving love to other people, accepting love from people, and being who you are for what you are, right? Love is the point where you have abundance, you have happiness, you're at peace with yourself, you treat yourself with respect, you treat others with respect. If somebody disrespects you, you do not take it, because you love yourself to have boundaries to let that go. You love yourself enough to take care of yourself. You love other people enough to take care of them. You love other people enough to do good for them, to give them the right guidance. Me making videos for you guys, it comes out of my heart. It comes out of love, because I want you guys to go up. I want you guys to strive. I want you guys to succeed. Now, don't take it as a motivational speech. This is just how I am, and this is how I want the life to be. And this is what I want to do for people. I want to give back. I want to make sure you guys are winning at life too. So that's the frequency I believe I'm at. Maybe I'm lower, maybe I'm higher, but generally I feel like I'm at love. Now, let's be realistic. There's two more. There's peace and alignment, which I'm going to explain in a second. Can I achieve those? In my opinion, I genuinely think I can. Do I want to achieve that? Maybe in the future. As of right now, I'm doing just fine. I'm happy with where I am right now. I have all the benefits of what I want to live in my life. I like to still go out and party pretty often, and I like to, like I said, I like to drink, I like to party, I like loud music, right? Now, that is a part of who I am, and that a lot of people from the spiritual journey will tell you that's a low vibration energy. Now, to each their own. You can accept that as that if you want to, that's fine with me. The way I see it is that's something I do like doing, but I have to be considerate of the fact, if I'm doing that, I'm not truly at peace, right? If I wanted to be truly at peace all the time, right, I probably would give up loud music. I would give up flashy lights. I would give up drinking, right? And easily I can achieve peace. And I have done it before. I've gone 3-4 months without music, without lights, without any consumption of drinks, and without masturbating, of course. I was full, almost like a monk, right? I was going full monk mode. And monks are a great example for people who are in alignment, but I'll get to that. So if I really wanted to, I could achieve a level of peace. But honestly, I'm fine with where I am. I'm fine with like feeling like I love. I could be at reason to be honest, but most of the times I feel like I'm doing things out of love. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But that's where I feel like I am. Energies could be different for everybody, right? So that's where I am right now. So I would say I'm probably at love, but that doesn't mean I don't feel the effects of above. I would just say naturally throughout life, when I'm going through life, let's say I'm always at love, right? This is like the love scale, and then I would feel joy, I feel enlightenment, I feel peace. Like I go through my times. Like some days I will generally just be like, you know what, today I'm not gonna listen to music, no drinks, nothing. Usually I don't drink anyway, right? So that's out of the picture. But I do listen to music from time to time. So some days I'll be like, you know what, no music today, no social media today. Today I'll just relax, right? Just take the day easy. Maybe go for a walk. And that would be my day when I truly feel peace. I kind of feel enlightened. When I go outside and I see the trees, I feel nice. I feel energized. I feel good. I feel joy. I feel really nice. So there's that. So I would say I come from the frequency of love. Now when we move up from love to joy, now joy is like you're at that point where you're just kind of like always happy. You're literally always happy. Now that doesn't mean you never feel negative emotions. Like I said, it's not delusional level happiness where you're just like a crackhead where you're like you always feel happy. That's not what it is. But there is that situation where for the most part you're just always happy. There's nothing that's really bothering you in life. You're enjoying life for what it is. You're taking life for what it is. And I feel like I would be a joy too, but I feel like I'm a little bit of in a hustle mindset right now. And being at a hustle, you gotta watch yourself out, because when you're hustling too much, you lose momentum of joy, right? Because there's like doing, being, right? And you gotta have a fine balance manifestation. You gotta have a fine balance, right? Now, I am okay with me hustling a little bit right now because I am a little far behind in life for what I want to be. So I want to work a little hard to get where I want to be and then take a little bit of joy. But obviously I'm still taking my time to enjoy myself as much as I can, whenever I can, however I can, right? So there's joy. Now there's peace. Peace. That is a beautiful word. Now peace is amazing because that's something that we all want to be at, to be honest. We all want to be at peace. I don't know about enlightened. I feel like enlightened is probably for like religious monks, right? A lot of people would like to be enlightened, but I feel like peace is a really good spot to be at. Just peace, you know, just like you're at peace with everything. And I felt peace before. Like the days when I would completely cut dopamine out of my life, when I would go monk mode, I felt peace, right? When I was no social media, no lights, no music, no nothing, and obviously cold showers, meditation, early rising. That's the three things you gotta do, right? If you wanna level yourself up to a higher vibration energy, some of the cheat codes are three things: early rising, cold showers, meditation. These three things. If you have these three things, then it's very easy for you to put yourself up in a higher vibrational energy. So when I would do that, honestly, I felt so peaceful. I feel peaceful, right? I wasn't stressed. I was natural. I felt good. I felt good at just being me, right? So, and you might be asking me, right, well, then why don't you stay in that place all the time? Honestly, I probably could, but again, that's not the life I'm choosing at the moment. Maybe in a couple years from now, I would. But as of right now, I'm fine with being right about at love, right? And I feel like I keep going from love to joy, like pretty much most of the time. It's like an up down from love, joy, love, joy, love, joy. But being realistic, I'm probably more in love. But from time to time, I do, whenever I want to, I get that peace. Like, I don't feel peace. Well, I feel peaceful every day. I'm not like not feeling peace. But when I'm gonna like go through a Zen mode, zen the fuck out. When I'm going through a Zen mode every single day, when I'm zenning, right, through life, then I would wanna be in peace. So let's say if it's like this is a Sunday on the weekend, right? And I'm like, you know what? Got nothing to do today anyways. I'm not gonna just stay home and feed my brain some dopamine from social media. What I'll do is Saturday, I'll make sure I make that plan out. Sunday, wake up early, go take a cold shower, meditate for 5 to 10 minutes, usually 5 minutes, maybe I'll move it up to 10-15 minutes because it's a Sunday. Then I'll go for a walk. I live right near Taylor Creek, in a beautiful park. Just go for a walk. It feels so nice to be in nature. When you're in that Zen mode, trees just look magnificently beautiful. Now for some of you guys, you're gonna be like, trees, what the fuck? Yeah, I know. It's out there for you guys, but for me and for spiritual teachers, trees are bliss. That's our fucking porn right there. Trees are the porn. So, damn. Trees, peaceful. Now, finally, I gotta put you at the last one. That's enlightenment. Now, enlightenment is the top of the top. This is where you're monk mode, right? When you're enlightened, you're just bliss. Like pure bliss, right? You feel completely naturally okay with yourself. And the great thing about enlightenment kinda is that when you're enlightened, you probably won't be feeling those negative emotions. But you're only gonna be getting there if you want to stay enlightened all the time, because you have to understand there's a balance, right? If you want to stay enlightened all the time, it's like you gotta have to meditate every day, all day, for a couple hours a day, take cold showers, and let go of everything, materialistic things, right? And just stay truly enlightened. Now that's what's gonna make you enlightened and keep you in that enlightened mode. So there's nothing wrong with that. Lots of monks do it, and lots of monks actually enjoy it. That's why people are just like, yo, how do monks live, bro? They look like they're bored as fuck. They're really not. For us, people who are really stuck in the materialistic world, right, or in the lower vibrational paradigms, we look at it and we think that, oh shit, like that's boring. I would not do that. That's so out there, and that's not for me. It's easy to say that, and it kind of makes sense, I guess, but it really, for them, they're having a blissful moment. They're having so much joy because their dopamine is so low that everything they do, they enjoy it right at that moment. Every moment is beautiful to them. Every moment is a new experience to them. Every moment means something to them. Means something. You have to understand this. They're so enlightened. Every time they do something, every second they're doing something, it's making them feel something. How often can you say that? How often can you say that I went for a walk and every single step of the walk I felt nice? Right? You can't say that because your enlightenment isn't at the top. So those people who have let go of all attachments from this world and actually can do it, because like don't be that guy who has a 9-to-5 job right now and you have no way to feed yourself and you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna get rid of everything, I wanna jump out the roof and I'm gonna go fly enlightenment. No, it's not the point. The point is you can achieve enlightenment and true happiness. Is that somewhere you truly wanna be? That's what you're gonna have to make that decision. I like being enlightened from time to time. Like I said, from time to time, I like being enlightened too. But I don't stay in that mode for all the time because I don't feel like monk mode is for everyone. I feel like a lot of people watch these spiritual gurus and you think that you have to be enlightened. You have to be this person. You have this like idea of a person of what you want to be. It doesn't have to be like that. Remember, spiritual journey and spiritual growth and self-development is all about you being the best version of yourself and doing what serves you, not what somebody else told you might serve you. You're going to be able to have to make the decision. But before you make that decision, you have to at least reach the level of reasoning with your stuff. Because before you reach the level of reasoning with your stuff, you won't be able to make smarter decisions for your own journey. That being said, that was a lot of content that I dropped for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed that video. I went as much detail as I went. This is probably one of my best videos that I can give you for your self-development journey. So this video was so amazing. You have to drop me a subscribe, bro. Give me a like, comment down below if you want me to clear up anything. Share this video with like-minded people. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.